Okay. Give me 1 second. Got brother Anthony in.
Good evening. What's going on, brother Lush?
Hey, brother. Peace to you. How you doing?
I can't complain. How about yourself?
Doing well. Doing well.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
We already on live?
Yes.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yes, we are.
Man, I'm gonna get this message, man. I just want you to listen to it and just give me just give me your feedback.
It's a message about what?
It's a message from one of the seniors, in the truth.
One of the who?
One of the seniors in the truth.
One of the seniors.
Yeah, well, like one of the pioneers.
Okay, hold on, brother. Hold on. Then you're gonna have to I don't know what you got to send me.
No, so, I ain't gonna send it to you right now. I just want to send it to you, my friend. I just want you to listen to it.
Okay, yeah. Text I'm assuming it's YouTube.
No, it's not gonna come that way. I mean, because it comes down after a while. You got to subscribe to the app.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, if you want to send me something, you go text it to the phone or something like that, or
yeah, or email it to you.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, just do that, and we'll see what you're talking about. Okay. I'm gonna let this brother Austin in. Peace to you, brother. Peace to you, brother Michael. It's good to see y'all.
And peace to you too, brother.
Peace to you,
brother. And brothers.
Full disclosure, I'm thinking all week about a topic. When we had our Wednesday night Bible study, I was like, all right, brothers, y'all got a topic? Usually it'll come to me. When I do those lessons, sometimes I just go downstairs and it'll hit me. I'm talking about when I'm preaching, but this poem ain't preaching. And so, so I was like, all right, what's gonna be the topic? I was sitting here thinking, and I said, man, I know this late. Let me talk to these brothers, text these brothers. And I came up with some good one. Brother Anthony had a good one, but quite frankly, I don't know if we're prepared to do that right off the cuff like that. It was a heck of a topic though. So we might have to put that one in a reserve, but it was a very good topic, something that need to be addressed, but I don't want to address that. I want to be careful how we address it. Okay. Not disparaging against nobody or anything like that. It's just it's a very serious topic. And so some people had some good topics. Brother Austin Hills, I think it was like staying focused. You could tell he trying to graduate, and I was like, okay, staying focused on what? He like, hey, staying focused, and so many distractions. So he trying to pass his classes.
Yeah.
But
one more week.
Huh? Go ahead.
One more week.
One more what?
Yes, sir. Yes,
congrats, sir. Bro.
Thank you.
That is good news.
Yeah, and I got to talk to you about something too.
Okay.
Privately, though.
Okay.
Again, nothing disparaging. I just want to run something by you.
Okay.
But Brother Willie came up with a topic, and it kind of made me think about something broader. I don't know if you want to share what you said, brother, or what you sent. Your topic, you forgot, huh? Well, oh wait, hold on. Let me.
It's a few of them.
Let me see which one it was, because you. I forgot you sent a few. Let me see. You sent a few, and these are good ones as well. Actually, you sent a couple topics we're gonna use, but this one, it says, is going to school beneficial for believing women who plan on being housewives? And it made me think about college and post-secondary studies in general as well, not just for women, but for men as well. But here's brother Khalil. Tell me, brother, what's on your mind in that regard? I'm gonna read this topic again. Peace to you, Brother Khalil. You just coming in here. Brother Willie sent a topic. He said he sent about 20 topics. For one, no, I'm saying, he said, hey, I'm just joking. He said, is going to school beneficial for believing women who plan on being housewives? And I don't know if you wanted to, since you sent that, what was on your mind in that regard?
I kind of mentioned some of it last week, I think, about
towards the end, I remember.
Yeah, more so of, you put all this time spent, in your youth, going to school, looking to be a provider of, to take care of yourself. I understand that, in this day and age in the Western world, women are doing more so of being educated and graduating school and becoming more successful in the totem pole right now. But if your overall goal is to be a housewife one day, do you plan on going back to work after having children and, more than one possibly? And would that actually be beneficial to be spending all that time, losing all that money and debt, putting it on your husband, whatever it may be, to possibly not even pursue that career field once you become a mother? And more so focusing on how to maintain a household as a woman biblically, and take care of your man and be a part of his purpose, and help him thrive in his purpose so that the house can run smoothly. So I think that it all tied together with the man and his purpose, and the woman of today, how they're more interested in becoming successful. But is that just the world view of success, or is that the success that God has planned for a beneficial household that's going to serve him the right way? So that's what I was thinking about it in that direction.
Okay. All right. Seems very 1950-ish, but let's move. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Did anybody have any thoughts about what the brother was saying? He made some points that quite frankly I think are being ignored. I'm gonna just go over some of them that at least I pulled out. I kind of just writing things down. He talked about an overall goal. What is your overall goal? And do you plan on going to work after having children? And what about all the debt that you accrue, that you take on? And if you have a husband, he may have to help you pay for that debt. And what about the household duties, that may be lacking in some regard? Because that's going to happen. And in addition, what he asked the question, what is success? Is it what the world says, or is it what's success biblically for a woman? So that, I thought those are excellent things he touched upon. I don't know if anybody wanted to weigh in on the topic.
I could weigh in.
Go ahead.
Hello. Yes. So I'm in school, and so I see a lot of these women all the time. And to me, it's like you go to school and you don't really learn nothing anyway. And then you get out, and then you just to go get a job. I was having a conversation with one of the girls at the school, and she was talking about how when she be going on dates, guys don't really care about like the accolades that she has and what degree she's trying to pursue and stuff. And I was no, she asked me, why do they have an attitude, why do they have an attitude that they don't care, when she was asking me, when she tells them about that stuff. I was just like, because it don't matter. And she got mad when I told her.
Wait,
that.
you said what?
I said, because it don't matter. It don't matter. I really don't care about what type of degree a woman got.
Quick
But,
question. I want to pull that point out if you don't mind, brother. Why don't you care?
Because it's not like I'm gonna be able to use your degree to make some money. I'm not gonna be able to use your degree and your money. I'm not about to sit up here and let no woman take care of me on anything.
Right.
It's her money.
Yeah.
That is not the ability to provide is not something that men, unless you're a gigolo or a pimp, you're not usually looking for that from a woman. Usually. So that's why I said pull that out. Yeah, but women almost approach it as if men are, and they're really not. They don't care about usually.
Right.
They don't care about that. But go ahead, brother. Finish your point.
But yeah, so they I think that they really go and get these degrees, and then when they in school, they surrounded by women who just like don't say things that's in their best interest or give them bad advice all the time. So I see that a lot. And
can you give me an example of that?
Like there's women at the school, anything that's like anything black or anything that's going on with the black community, most of it is like led by women. So these would be older women and women who have worked at the school for 30, 40 years. And they get these girls bad advice. I remember one time, man, there was I saw some girls twerking at the school, and it was an old lady that was like standing there watching it. In my mind, I was like, why did this lady not tell them to sit down or not do anything? But that's just one example that I see where like I don't see a lot of older women telling the younger women about themselves or like how they dress and stuff like that. And so they're not really surrounded by true guidance, And
oh, go ahead, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
No. And so I see that a lot, and they'll go and get a job and then get a degree, and then still be empty.
Empty how? What do you mean?
Like empty as far as like they purpose, like just because they have a lot of money, they still don't have a husband, or they just wasted all their time doing these things. They don't know, they don't have the abilities to perform what they truly should be doing because they wasted it, doing something else.
So. I just want a couple of things you said. Because I just look at and being in education and from my own experiences and then seeing many young people go to school, male and female. One thing is certain, it's cemented in my mind is that the whole world is a hustle, including college.
Yes,
and
it
if
is.
you do not go into college with a focus on what you're going there for, as far as your career, I'm not talking about partying and getting out your parents' house. You will be saddled with debt and a useless degree.
Yes.
The majority of degrees are useless.
Yes.
And that's the reality. Speaking of someone who has advanced degrees, they're useless.
Yes.
You can make a lot of instances, you can make a lot more money going into another field. You have to know what you're doing. I see so many, like when you were talking about degrees, I kept thinking about how many of our young people go to school for psychology.
They go to school for psychology, liberal
sociology.
Arts. Yeah. It was a lot of girls that was coming. A lot of them, they're nursing. I see some that's like
nursing is a decent field as far as money.
Yeah, it is. So a lot of them are nurses. A lot of them are psychology majors, and some of them are a lot of them are communications majors too. But a lot of them they're not even. A lot of these degrees in general, like you said, is nothing.
Yeah,
nothing you can really do it.
You're not gonna make money. You're gonna have to go back to school.
Yeah.
All the while, that's quite frankly, some of those years at least are years in which you should be concerned about actually getting married.
Yeah.
Or at least finding a suitable mate.
They don't have the other like you'll see people of other ethnicities that are
they
trying.
know this.
Yeah, they'll do that, but a lot of the females, they don't have that attitude at all. It's a completely whole nother attitude.
Yeah. And so you talked about the emptiness. I think that emptiness comes along with because a career is not going to be, it's a job.
Yeah.
Usually it's just a job. It's a way to pay bills. It's not fulfilling. And so you are basically, because I talk, hearing a lot of young people, you see a lot of them, they don't want to have kids, period. And a lot of young girls talk about they don't want to get married. Guys they don't want to get, your generation, the ones coming behind you, I do these polls. I ask, what's giving? None of them. You might have one or two. Seriously.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, I'll pass. And so, like what you said, I think though, we really are supposed to be doing that. Getting married, having families. This is what we've done for eons. And yet now it's looked down upon, even if you have more than 2 children. Why you have so many kids? What are you talking about? But also you said something that said bad advice.
Yes.
Women not getting good advice from the older, because the older women, that generation, the higher, I hate to say quality, but quite frankly, those women are died off.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the older women
Yes.
that are grandmothers are closer to my age. My generation never know. Not a good example for young people. But it made me think of Titus too. And what was written in Titus in 2 and 3, it said the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste keepers at home, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. I don't think like wives are being produced now. So
no, we had a panel discussion for our organization that we're a part of. It's called mentorship for prospective scholars, and it's just an organization where you can get mentors from like a faculty or a staff member. But this week they brought in some couples who teach at the university. Two of the couples, they both hold PhDs, and then the other ones, I think they were like counselors or something like that. But they brought them in, and the coordinator that's over the organization, she a woman, so she brought these couples in, I guess, so we could try to see some examples of, it was some black couples on campus. And so I was hearing what the wives of these men were saying, and the people that was there didn't realize what was in their face and what these women were saying, because there's no way I would let my wife sit up there and be on any panel discussion and just say what these women were saying. Some of them was like, sometimes my husband, he'll cook and clean and do this and that, and that's okay. I was like, no, it's not. But they were real, and I don't know if they realized it, but they were out of pocket. And so that's just some of the advice that the young women that was in the audience was on and on, and oh, this cute, this, that. It was not cute though. It wasn't cute. So
maybe
that's just
not to you. I said probably not to you. But everybody else loved
it. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So that's just one example.
You said something else. I'm gonna let Brother Elba chime in. You said something else though. You said to make lots of money. But you look at our women in particular, when you look at how much money they're actually are worth, if you look at it, put it in dollars, it's not a lot at all. I think it's like $5. It's something. It's no, I'm for real. It's not what if you look it up, it's like it may have been updated last month. It was like $5. It was something low. I'm gonna look that up. Go ahead, brother Elbert. You
Oh
want to
no,
chime in?
yeah, I was gonna. I have two daughters, and two of them, they both went to college. One of them, she graduated, the other one didn't. And as far as me seeing it as a problem, as far as the word that we in, does it help them become good wives? Just going to college, probably not. But the part, I hate to say it, but some dudes is raggedy nowadays, and that's the only chance that they can feed themselves in the meantime.
I want to talk about that too. Go ahead, keep going, brother.
So, but the thing is, when you find that good husband, like you said, a righteous man, and like you said, he's actually being the provider and all that, meeting her needs, then she will leave it behind. If as long as she's on your side, but where else she gonna meet him at? I'm just out of opinion because there's a lot of dudes. Because I didn't know that the dope game was as big in my town as it has gotten. So I went and talked to some people, and if she don't go to school, how would she be able to feed herself and things like that? So on that one, I'm kind of, as far as it helping her become a good wife and stuff, as opposed to the scriptures say, I don't know there to help her, but in the meantime, hopefully she'll come across a brother like Brother Austin while she's in school. And if she carries herself well, she might be able to hold on to Brother Austin while they're in school, and in the meantime, feed herself until they're ready to establish a household and have children.
Yeah, I agree with you on. You got to look at it. It's a very delicate situation, but at the same time, a lot are not going in with that mindset to even be married.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, so it's not like they're looking. It's not, and so when you talk about what goes on, that's a whole nother topic. When you're talking about what's going on these college campuses, that quite frankly would disqualify you from being a wife.
Well, if they participate, because I know plenty of girls that didn't go to college and disqualified.
No, but it's college is different.
Oh, okay.
College is different. It's different. It's different. The access, the environment is real different. It's real different. I understand what you're saying. You definitely got that all up, but it's different on the campus. I looked this up. Now, the 2010, there was a 2010 report said that the average median wealth for a Black woman was $5. That was in 2010. So I'm looking at a more recent study on the net worth of Black women, and it was done by Samuel Cook Center on Social Equity, and it's about the current wealth inequality gap. And it says Black women with a bachelor's degree ages 20 to 39 have a net worth of 0. Single Black women without a bachelor's degree ages 40 through 59 have a net worth of a range of just $1,000 to $2,000. Black women without a bachelor's degree age 60 or plus have a net worth of just $12,000. Single Black women with a bachelor's degree ages 20 to 39 have a net worth range of negative $11,000 to 0.
Yeah.
So, that's this misconception. Even when you look at education wise, being enrolled, and then what you get out of that education, that if you earn a degree is not what it seems often in a lot of cases. But I understand what you're saying. You have to be able to, like you're saying, you want to be in a position to take care of yourself. But
no, when you talk about
the best thing you can do is, in my estimation, is find a righteous brother to where he don't have to be in college. Just a righteous brother that's about something.
Right, you find them. Right.
Yeah.
That's why we was talking about arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Give them a few choices anyway. You can pick this one or that one. But I was gonna say on a lot of that, now we can't skip when we talking about net worth, we can't forget about financial choices, a lot of that, because there's people that didn't go to college or better with their money. when you talk about net worth, they can't
Yeah,
just.
because they don't have the debt. They don't have the debt.
College debt?
Hmm?
Talking about from borrowing the money to go to school?
Yes, sir.
Because I watch most of them get a job and they run their credit cards up like they don't have no sense. And
Yeah, you'll see that too. Definitely in college because you're broke. And, it's just, and then, but then you have, think about it, if you go to school, you know, school, what's the tuition where you at, Brother Austin? You know, off the top of your head?
I think it's about it's only $20,000. I went to school off a scholarship. It's $20,000 though for tuition.
Room and board
for the whole 4 years. Room and board is like $4,000 a semester, and then tuition is about, I want to say probably about $5,000 a semester. It's not that it's cheap for ISU compared to like $100,000.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that because he went to state school,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's nothing to have $100,000 in debt.
No.
For young people today. I think what's IU? It's like 30 grand a year or something around
I
there.
believe so.
It's
I know they have an engineering school. It's $200,000 a semester.
Wait, what?
It's an engineering school in Terre Haute called Rose Holman. $200,000 a semester.
200 what?
200,000.
200,000 what?
Dollars. Not pennies. Dollars.
200. You sure you saying 200,000 a semester?
They got money. Yes. The
So what you engineer on Mars? What are you?
Nah, some of them be working for like NASA stuff like real.
NASA. That's what I'm saying. What kind of So you sit and you said 200,000.
200,000. I would never pay 200,000 for any dog.
Say the name of the school, brother. Say the name of the school again.
It's called Rose Holman. Rose Holman Institute.
Rose Holman.
Mm-hmm.
Holman, HOLMAN.
HULMAN, I believe.
Institute.
Yes.
You sure, brother?
It's Rose Holman Institute of Technology. Yeah.
So you said for $400,000 for 1 year?
I believe so.
Nah, brother, it can't be.
You don't think you think that it might be gassing it up a little bit? I know it's expensive. I know it's expensive. I remember talking to it wasn't because we had a they have a NSBE chapter at their school. We were going to talk to the students over there.
That's how you know it's not that much. Hold on, wait a minute.
He said because they let us in.
Okay, so are you saying now this is a specific program?
I don't know. I just know it's
okay, because tuition for that school in 2019 to 2020 was $51,927
a year.
That's usually tuition a year.
Okay.
But are you saying is this some advanced program? I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's not a regular. I know it's a lot of people who got money that go there.
Yeah, because that's 50 grand. And it's a private school, correct?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
And usually you're able to get more money for those types of institutions. But as far as funding, but I have to check that out, see what you're talking about, brother. Brother said it's 100 million.
It may somebody that's what somebody told me. So
I
said that's what somebody told me. So it may
they probably said it costs $200,000 to go there for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Yeah, not one semester, brother.
That makes a lot more sense.
I
said that make a lot more sense.
That does, bro. I'm like, wait, $200,000 for it. I mean,
yeah,
med school will cost you 200 grand. You talking 200 grand a semester? Yeah. Then you talking about it's a NSBE chapter? That no.
I might have miscalculated.
Yeah, you might have miscalculated. Hey, brother Mike, you had something, brother?
Oh yes, I had something to say.
Oh, go ahead.
On the topic that you're talking about, I also noticed a lot of women do it. They go to school, they do it because they already kind of assuming that the brother won't be doing their part when they before they even go to college. So they just assume. It's already embedded in them that they won't. That a brother won't provide for them. It's already set up in their mind he ain't gonna be a provider. So when we got to do this to take care of ourselves, just in case he left.
Where did they get that idea from?
All that I can say is these. I mean, it's social media, society.
I think so. Society. Maybe it's their experience.
Yeah.
Maybe their mothers. Maybe that's their reality. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like I always say, our young boys are not being taught to be men, and our young girls are being taught to be quote unquote independent, which I find to be troubling because I don't think anybody's independent. But and when I say, I'm not saying you can't take care of yourself, we are interdependent upon one another. For example, you have your own business, you are dependent on those customers that you provide the service to. If you have a job and you pay all the bills, you dependent on that job. You dependent on something, you know. So I think that's kind of like, you know, you dependent on God to keep breathing. This is you dependent on something or somebody. But yeah, I think definitely that you know, there's that teaching. And just speaking of men, how should men approach post-secondary education after high school? Since it keeps being brought up, and that's when Brother Willie posed the question or the topic, it made me think of men as well.
I think that if men do pursue a college education, they should do something that's gonna make them some money. Don't just waste your time and your effort to go and work a job that you could have been working before college. Because I do see that a lot. Make sure you know what you're doing when you go, because you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your money. So,
Yeah. Like, what do you think of some good degrees?
I know. So I know mechatronics is really good. I just
What
talked with
is?
mechatronics. Mechatronics is a mixture of electrical and mechanical. But I talked with somebody yesterday from Purdue Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that he had graduated with a degree in mechatronics and now he works for Rolls-Royce. But he said that the company, that's what they look for. They look for people who had mechatronics degree, computer engineering, electrical, electronics engineering, anything that's engineered will make you some money. If you do, if you go to school for like, I'm not sure if I'm not sure what finance majors there are, but I know that there are a couple that do make some money, and perhaps after you graduate, you may go and get your MBA. But if you once you get your MBA, you'll be in some type of management position within a company, so you'll be making more money then. So those are just a few. But I wouldn't do anything like communications. Don't go to school and then switch your major to universal studies or something like that.
General studies.
Yeah, general studies. Because you ain't gonna make you're not gonna do.
What about IT?
IT is pretty good. I will say that the IT field is becoming oversaturated.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
There's a lot of people who are doing that, and a lot of people are just instead of getting because IT, computer engineering, and computer science, a lot of people think that those are like the same thing, but they're not. As a computer engineer, you would do work in electrical, you would do work in engineering management, you would do work in computer science, you would do embedded systems, automation. Computer engineering is a mixture of a lot of different things. And so IT, you will be working on like databases, you will be doing like network, a little bit of network engineering. That realm is vast too, but it's definitely more it's more saturated than any other field though. So there's a lot of people that's kind of getting out of that.
Okay. Brother, we got brother Josh on here who has a trade. And that's one thing I regret is not having a trade. I wish I would have learned a trade in addition to the other education that I have. What could you say about the trades and the outlook for brothers who may be interested in that?
Well, a person, they can like 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 what Brother Austin was saying about the engineering, you see engineers coming through there all the time. I heard about this one guy, he was an architect, you know, but it's going as far as a trade, I think a trade is very, very important. Anything that you can anything that you can get educated on, um, you know, if you focus upon a trade, then your education should be like based around that trade. It can boost up, and you can become a better carpenter or a brick mason, things like that. But I'm very, very glad that I chose to pick a trade instead of going to college, because I wasn't even too much really into school like that. You know what I mean? And I wanted to work, and I didn't even know anything about a trade school. I didn't know anything about I didn't know anything about the union. You know what I'm saying? Until not very, very long ago. Growing up, I didn't know that there was a carpenters union that you can just join up, and you pay a little bit of money to get in and everything like that, and you, as long as you're making your monthly payments, that's fine. Like me, myself, I'm in like a 4-year apprenticeship, and I'm on my 2nd year. So in 2 more years, I'll be a journeyman carpenter, getting paid a journeyman pay, and they teach classes. We got classes. We do math classes. We do blueprint classes. We do what they call a total station class, working with this very high tech, like, I don't know what else which you would call it. It's called a total station. But basically what you use it for is leveling off the ground and things like that, making sure that things is level, and you can put these numbers in and it would do all the information for you, so yeah, with things like that, trade is a very, very good thing to really go for. It is a very, very good thing to go for, to provide for your family and things like that. And trade is something that you can pass down. That's another thing that I really like about going for a trade. I can pass that down. You don't have to. You can bring a person along and then just teach them. Like if I had a son, I would bring my son along. You know what I'm saying, and teach him certain things. You know what I mean? Teach him certain projects. So when he go into a work field, he'll know how to do something already.
Yeah, absolutely.
But trade is a very, very good thing, very, very good thing to go for. And okay. I wasn't even interested in math, but I'm a visual person, so it has helped me with my math. I wasn't even good at in geometry, but with carpentry, it makes it interesting. You're doing geometry without even thinking about it.
Yeah, and that's just dealing with young people. A lot of times sometimes I don't want to go to college, I want to go to trade school. I don't need this, I don't need that. I'm like, do you realize the level of the books that you have to read? What level, reading level those on? Lexile score is pretty high. It's advanced thinking. It's like you want to be a plumber, you have to know math. You have to know, it's not like, even you think even if you look at something as magnificent as the pyramids, which they cannot build today with modern technology and machinery. They cannot duplicate them as they are right now. You don't think you have to have science? You don't think you have to have mathematics? You have to be able to think, and that's what folks in the trade. I've always admired men that have those particular skills. I mean, sharp skills in those fields, because what they do, they problem solving all day.
Yeah.
And
And they
so you
find
have to
short
think.
ways.
You
They
have to
find
think.
short ways with their math. The way they teach math is different from the way, you know, people teach it in school. I mean, it's quick, and a lot of times it's easy. A lot of times it's easy, you know. I'm not, I ain't no mathematician, but you know, it really does help me with my math and everything like that, you know. So yeah, I like having a trade.
Yeah. So now, thank you, brother. Now I'm a transition a little bit to, I think, brother. I don't know if this brother on. I see this iPhone 3. I'm thinking that's brother Elbert. Hold on, this brother Mo here. I wanted to talk about also owning your own business. I know brother Elbert has his own business. Brother Anthony, do you have your own business?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay, if I can get some insight from you brothers about that, I'd appreciate it. Brother Anthony, you want to start up? You want to start off? You don't mind? Just insight about like the benefit of having your own business.
I mean, oh, um, hmm. Well, I guess you could, you can set your own goals or projections, things like that. You have a little bit more freedom. You kind of set the rules within, the rules of the state that you live in, but it does provide, freedom for you, vacation time and things like that. But some of the things that it doesn't provide, are like health insurance, and I mean, you have to go out and get that for yourself. Uh, you know, all the benefit packages and stuff like that. But it provides a lot of freedom. I always, I've been in business for myself since 2003. So, I always thought about it as, at this point, like I get to write my check. I don't have to wait on anybody to pay me. You know, and I like that more than anything. But yeah, those are the benefits for me. Really, it's really just having the conveniences that you have, and being able to set your own pace and set your own goals and try to reach them.
I appreciate that, brother. And I just got a text saying that I said brother Elbert, I meant brother Wayman. That's my mistake. I apologize. I misspoke.
I can read something I read real quick about a business.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
Brother said, and it shocked me. He said, you can have a good job, but you can't hand it down to your kid like you can a business. So you got your own business, you can hand that down and give it, and your kid just keep working. When I retired, it was over. So I just adding that. That's a benefit, I thought.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good thought, because to have something to give to our children, like brother brother Joshua said about having a skill. You can pass down a skill. If you got a business, you can pass that right down. So they can start off ahead of a lot of people. That's a good point you made. Brother Wayman,
that's how I got it.
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's how I got in sales. My dad, he taught me sales. He had hair care, business. So he took me on the road, hair shows, showed me how to sell hair care. And one of his friends was a general manager at an Acura dealership out here in Atlanta, and gave me a job as a salesperson there when I was 22. So that's how I ended up here, and I've been in the business ever since.
That's what's up. Yeah. Thank you, brother Wayman. Brother Wayman, what how long have you had? I know you've been doing your thing for a long time. Let us know what you do and how long you've been doing it.
I do heating, air conditioning, refrigeration, appliances. I do washers, dryers, stoves also, fix microwaves, hot water tanks. Those are basically what I do. Dishwashers I've fixed. I've fished just about, I don't know, a number of things. I think that for myself, being mechanically inclined was something that I have as a gift. So I just tied into what it is that I realized in the 12th grade. I realized something about me that I was able to do that. Even when I had my motorcycle years ago, I used to work on my own motorcycle. So doing things like that was something I enjoyed doing. And so I just kind of stuck with that. And it was easy, something that come easy for me. You know, we talk about the gift that God give us, and I consider that as my gift. So I actually started the business. I went to heating air conditioning class in January of 70, which was 6 months long. 1970. January 1970 is when I started.
2021.
And yeah, it's 2021. But I started my own business in 71, a year later.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been 50 years. And it's been an ongoing struggle. What I heard, I just got into this. I just got in online with you all probably about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago at the most. And I'm just hearing some of what has been said. So some of what I heard concerning being able to be your own boss, write your own check, and we know the benefits. Those benefits are there. I was talking to a doctor who said to me that having your own business is like starting off at $50,000. Then because you can do what you want to do. He said just having that kind of freedom is worth $50,000. So even when I don't make money, and I haven't been making money throughout my years of work, but what I have had is the ability to go fishing whenever I want to. Mm-hmm. And I just got back. I got 2 fish now in my sink. So I get to do what I want to do when I want to do it. But that's not always the case, because if I'm responsible for a job and I've got to get it done, that means I've got to be there. If it takes me 2-3 days, and I have worked as late as 4 o'clock in the morning. So when you have a business, you have to commit yourself to it. In other words, you're working for the business is yours, you make decisions, it governs you. But if you're not doing the job and getting the work done, you're not making any money. So you can't live. So I have bosses all the time. So I accept somebody to be my boss. Somebody hire me and say, hey, I want you to fix this. If we can't come to terms with whatever the cost might be, then they are not allowed to be my boss, and they don't want me to be their employee working for them. So you say you have your own business, but actually I have a lot of bosses. Everybody I work for is my boss. So
I've been your boss a couple times.
Yes. Yes. So and you paid me. So I mean the process is the same. You was my boss, you paid me, so it's still the same thing that happens. One of the things about being your own boss, you're on a job and the boss may rub you the wrong way, or somebody you really don't want to work for, you want to be with, and you with them and then with them, and you have no other options. You can, if you're working for yourself, you can just walk away from that and get another boss. But when you have a boss and you've been tied into your job, it's like you got to put up with whatever it is that you're going through. You got to put up with that stuff. Yeah. So it's like, there is that sense of freedom. Hey, if it ain't working here, I go somewhere else. It's not a problem. I leave one job, and as soon as I leave that job, somebody else calling me to do a better, easier job for more money. And that has happened so many times. So what I have found in terms of even being your own boss is God is my boss. I've always said that. So my boss has been God. So therefore, I've got to conduct myself according to his standards. Then the jobs come, and they come in such a way that he's bringing these jobs to me. So you said you've been my boss, but you were my boss because God put it in your dad, that put it in you, and then you gave it to me. But I know where it came from. So that is how, for the most part, being self-employed has been. there is a great sense of freedom, but you work hard. You really work hard. There's a lot, it's not just you to say you're your own boss. There's a lot coupled with that. You have to do everything. Like the brother said, that hey, you got to pay all your insurance and everything. You've got to cover all your Social Security. You got to deal with all that. That's a lot more responsibility. But if you are able to, as your own boss, know and consider those things and the things that you're charging, then you can cover yourself. But a lot of people don't want to pay you like they want to pay somebody that's not Israel. So they will pay everybody else at a different standard, different
They
level.
want to hook up, is what you're saying.
They want to hook up every
simplified
time.
way.
Yeah. People have told me, I have said, somebody told me, I gave somebody a price. And it was interesting. It was a sister that was working for an African woman. I gave her the price. The sister was saying, that's too much money. I said, Sears would have charged you more than this. She said, you're not Sears. Yeah. But that's been the attitude that most people will have. It's like, hey, you're not Sears. People have told me that kind of stuff. I can't charge like everybody else charge because I am who I am. They're not willing to pay me that. So I let them know.
Doing it for 50 years.
Yeah, well, let's go back now. Yeah, so it was like 20 years and 30 years, all the way down the line. Some other experiences I've had in terms of being your own boss, especially dealing with Israel, who are going to be the ones who are going to call me because they're not calling me outside of my own community. Also, family members are not calling me, will be the first ones that will call me, but they really want to hook up. So if I'm going to get some work, it's usually going to come from family members initially.
Yeah.
And then when you get tired of putting up with family members expecting you to work for a sandwich or for a brotherhood or a sisterhood or something. Then you move on to people that's outside, somebody who is, they know you in the community, and then someone tells somebody, and then you start, look, I started advertising. So when I started advertising, I had strangers, people calling me from all over, and then I got a lot of referral from people, and that's what kind of broke me away from doing work for these people that don't want to pay me any money, but want to work me. They want to see me sweat for their dollar. And yet they don't sweat for their dollar. And they're getting $10. But they want me to sweat for $1. They sit up in the chair all day long and get paid at the end of the day, right? I gotta work. They want to see you sweating, doing something, and
get it off your chest, busy. Bro.
Huh?
Get it off your chest.
Yeah. And it's something you observed too, Elijah. You came back there when I was working on your air conditioner, and you pointed out, you said, by the sweat of your brow, you shall, how does it say? Remember you said that? You remember that?
Oh.
By the sweat of your face, you shall eat. Yeah, you said that. I was back there sweating on your air conditioner.
Yeah, I remember you sweat. I remember that. I remember that.
And you said, man shall live by the sweat of his brow. As I was sweating, yeah. You pointed it out. And I was like, yeah, see, but it's a really good feel when you are able to make the ends meet, when you're able to bring it all together. It feels really good. You can sit down and relax, take it easy a little bit, but now it's time to make more money to do it all over again because the bills keep coming. The bills keep coming. So you learn over a period of time of doing it that, you are operating, having an understanding of our condition as a people has always been something that I've kind of, I knew who I was, some time back, like, by the time I started my own business, I was aware that I was Israel. And that was helpful. I didn't understand it to the level that I do now from being in class and being under yourself and your dad. I've learned and understand more about the conditions that we're in as a people and how I've been operating in this condition. And I've always looked at God and trusted God to provide for me. and not somebody else who's doing the same thing. So if I'm working for somebody, they're getting what they're getting from God. I'm going directly to God to get it. And that's what I would suggest we do. Whatever trade you get in, whatever you decide to do, just put your trust in the Lord, cast your cares upon him and do whatever you want to do and do it. It's like, I didn't have any money. I just started doing it. You don't need no loan or something. You just do what it is that you were looking to do. And at some point, you will get to the point that you have some resources and money's coming in where you didn't have to go in debt to do that. Yeah. Look, I rode bikes. I rode a bike to repair things. A kid was coming down the street. I had no transportation. I said, hey man, hold my tools. I give you some money. I rode him. He held my tools to the job. And I did the job. So I don't know if I've been it enough. You want some more?
Nah, you good, brother. You good. You got it off your chest. I will say this though. You forgot one benefit. He has his van, his Pearson van. He has his name on the back. His name and his company name on the side. I think, right? It's on the side.
Right. It's on the side. It's in the back. It's in the back as well.
Okay, yeah, in the back and on the side. And he parks his van regardless of any rules for park. He parks wherever. I'm like, man, you gonna park your van there? You know, worried about no time. I ain't getting no ticket anywhere. I guess they feel, hey, he doing some work. He parks. Yeah. I've never seen anybody park wherever they want to park. And when I say wherever, I mean wherever. Except Brother Wayman. So nah, bro, I appreciate it.
He's talking about, Brother Elijah's talking about at IU. And I actually knew the policeman that was there at IU. So I knew them as well. I had coached their daughter, but I had coached his daughter, he had a couple of daughters. So I coached them. But yeah, you're right. I can park because I do have signs on there. And that wasn't, but the other thing too that you're leaving out, it's a Mercedes. They have respect for vehicles that are nice. They just don't, I'm telling you. That's why you see when the police pull over an expensive car, unless they look like us and they just pulling you over because of, who you are. I'm talking about where you got a nice car and you driving through the neighborhood. No, they don't mess with you. I was in Merrillville on Mississippi Street in 30. And I got a call from my answering service that said, she was laughing on the phone and she just kept laughing, trying to tell me the story that a policeman had called about me making a bad turn. I was like, yeah, that's what I did. What's a bad turn? So this policeman was reporting me about making a bad turn, not knowing that was my vehicle and I'm the one that owned it.
That's like, oh, wow. Oh,
yeah. That's one time. Another time, a man put damage on my vehicle. Caucasian man. His wife actually looked at, his wife was not very attractive at all. I'll say it like that. But if we want to talk about country stuff, I'm gonna tell you, she looked like a hog in a dress.
Hey, come on, brother. This is going so well.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to describe the attitude. What she wasn't saying very much, but I was at Walmart.
This was going so
well. And they were throwing some stuff in their truck. His truck was against my vehicle, just grinding onto my vehicle. Huh?
This is live, brother. He talking about Willie talking about, he gonna say edit. No, this is live. Go ahead.
We're about to flag you, Elijah.
I'm just I'm just trying to describe their whole image. But what happened, I'm getting to the point, is that the man had an attitude when I said, man, you put damage on my vehicle. He said, okay, well, just call the police. So I called the police. The police came and he went up to the police, talking to the police. Yeah, this man up here getting all upset because I said bigger. And then I started talking to the police. And I said, yeah, the man talking to me, and the policeman talking about, look, I'm not gonna have you all arguing. Wait a minute. I told him, I said, wait a minute. I'm not arguing with him. I'm talking to you. But the situation turned out that we end up settling ourselves. He softened up and act like he had some sense and apologized and asked me not to call this insurance company and stuff. But when the police got there, the policeman, when he got ready to leave, because he told us we have to sell it, when he got ready to leave, he said, listen, I hope you don't get in any trouble about the damage on that vehicle.
Talking to you.
Talking to me.
You didn't know.
He said, I hope you don't get in any trouble about the damage on this vehicle. I'm like, it's my vehicle. Yeah. So that's the state of mind. That's the way. So that's why I can say I realize they respect that. They hold that, and they don't really harass you or mess with you. So that's what I was getting to. I added a little more flavor to a seasoning to it. But yeah.
More of the story, get a Mercedes. Brother.
What was that? Good one.
I appreciate you, brother.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I see the police, I'm speeding. I'm literally speeding. I'm speeding right by the police. Right. They like they sitting for somebody speeding. I speed by, they don't do nothing.
With the new wheels you got, the new tires.
No. When my Sprinter was newer, when it was new, looking good, before people started running into it, and it rusted out. No, I might get a ticket now. a couple of tickets.
Yeah, 'cause I know one lady hit you. I'm like, man, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Brother Isaiah, if you could weigh in, I know you in a whole different country, but can you weigh in a little bit as far as the medical field? And or can you? I don't know. You got your mask on. I don't know. You busy? Or?
Yeah. No, I could talk. I scanning right now. One of the things is that in my field, I'm like a speckled bird, if you speak like that, right? Most of us don't go in this field. We tend to go for different jobs. Jobs like engineer, doctors, lawyers, things that was indoctrinated long ago that we see and we like, and things like professions like being a tradesman, always shunned. I'm talking from the island perspective. Was always shunned, and it was mostly the guys who dropped out of school. And when I moved to North America, I had regrets. I felt as though that I lose out on having a skill. Carpentry, mason, plumbing, electrical wiring. And these are the jobs that actually make money equally to, I see these jobs pay more than even some PhD professions here. Right, we don't get into them because they don't give us that look, that intellectual look, and that's one of the regrets. One of the regrets is that I have to work on the Sabbath, and I wish I had a job that I could cease working on the Sabbath, and like the same professions, right? I can't change it now unless I retire. I have to work evenings and weekends based on the profession here. But most people don't get into medical imaging, especially black folks. And I got into it from in the islands. I actually got a scholarship. And I went to Trinidad and we did X-ray there. And then I moved to Canada based on skilled worker program, and I so you had to write a national exam, license exam. So I wrote my license exam, and in a job fair, I walk out with 2 jobs, right? And that's 18 years now, I pushing 2 jobs. And when you try to tell folks of your kind, hey, and this job it's a good job, it's good paying job, and it's a job where you can advance. You could even move out of the field, go into some other field. But brothers and sisters don't want to do it, right? And it's one of those hidden jobs that it's there, and it could give you a good set, right? Especially here in Canada. Back home, it was nothing, right? It was the guys in the bank make more than us. When I moved to Canada, it was different. But regret is not having a skill, even with this job. And with the housing market exploding up here, I would have contributed towards more towards my tithes and more towards, say something wrong. I could come over and say, hey, brother Elish, I could fix this roof, I could fix this floor. Those things I want to do now. I wish I should have, taken up back then. But some of the dynamics different in the islands, right? How they treat these professions, right? And a problem I find with us, we don't teach us. You see how you say, Brother Elba just now, or someone said you could pass on the business. Well, you don't have to only pass on the business now. You could pass on the information, right, about a profession, right? You don't necessarily have to pass on to your son. I could say to you, Brother Elisha, Brother Willie, whosoever in the group here, hey, being an imaging technologist pays well, right? That's a way of passing on that information, but I don't think we pass it on enough to our people. So we end up wanting to go walk Wall Street, wanting to do things that people don't see us fit to doing. It's like how the brother just said, nobody thinks he could own a business, right? We can pass on information among us. It's like when I moved to Canada, I had no one to help to tell me what's this, how to do my taxes, how to do all that stuff. When the Chinese guy come or the Indian guy come, they have these associations that will distribute them throughout the country and put them in position. We don't even do it for ourselves. And that's where some of our problems lie. And that's some of the things I regret. So I like one time Austin and I was talking and I said, man, just apply anywhere all over the world, right? To get the job, to get the experience. He could tell you that. Just apply. Even come Canada. Probably might get jobs faster.
Yeah, that's working on the Sabbath. That's a big one,
Yeah. And
yeah.
the other thing I heard you guys talking about the debt and cost of school. The average cost for school here per year is $6,000. Right? $6,000. University.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And just you transfer that to US is about 5,000 US per year.
Yeah.
Right? And no Ivy Leagues. No Ivy Leagues, everything on the same level.
Right. But how high are taxes in Canada?
But yeah, I you don't remember now, you don't have to pay for your healthcare, right?
Right. So its taxes are extremely high, correct?
It's extremely high. Right?
So you pay for it. You pay
Yeah, but just imagine you get sick, you don't have to mortgage your house. The collective pay for it. Right? And it has its ups and downs, but I think that is something that every Western government should have done. Pay, especially a government that has such powerful military. You're supposed to pay for everyone. You shouldn't have VA problems.
Yeah, that's a complex situation when you think about healthcare. I think, you know, the cost of healthcare, whether it's subsidized more by the government or the cost more regulated, certain things. I mean, you shouldn't get ill in it, because that's the number one in the United States. That's the number one reason for bankruptcy is
Yeah, it's not here.
healthcare costs. So I mean, that definitely is a problem, but we also have a problem in our consumption of the foods that we eat.
Yeah,
You
we're
know,
not healthy.
that's a whole nother
That's another question, another
that's
night.
another topic. So we won't, another situation, or another topic rather, because fatty foods that we eat, the salty foods, the sugary foods. I mean, you look at America, you look over the border, most America, we have a problem with our weight.
Man,
Yeah,
when I saw a serving of a large drink in the States compared to here, it was like 4 times the amount.
Say it again, brother.
A large drink in the
Oh yeah,
US
we
was
super
4 times the amount up here. I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. No, we
I
don't eat
couldn't
regular
believe it.
portions. No, we eat that everything you think about it. The things, if you ever look on the box, it's like now I'm starting to try to be more conscious of things like that, trying to take that more seriously as I get older. I'm looking at things, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is one thing. It's 4 servings.
But then
You
it's
know,
a
you
waste
just eat
culture
it
too,
like
right?
it's 1 serving. No, Negro, that's 4 servings.
Oh yeah.
So you have to be conscious of those type of things. So like, yeah, so like,
What I noticed too is it's a waste culture. You waste everything. You just bite it off and spit it out, right? And that was something I noticed that was it is up here in North America.
oh yeah, you
Bite it and you bite it. That's okay, and then I waste it, right? And I don't think people realize how it's hard to produce food and expensive to produce food.
yeah, and how much food we throw away because of
Right.
farm subsidies. I mean, I'm talking about the food that the farmers throw away. I'm not talking about the food that we throw away as a consumer. That the agriculture, they throw away a lot of food.
And then the restaurants and the supermarkets.
Yeah, supermarket, they throw it away. Then it gets on our plate, we throw it away. So it's a lot. We could feed the world. I don't know how many times over, which is what we throw away. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
Did anybody else want to add in any thoughts about
I
anything?
got a few
Go ahead, brother
things
Tim.
I could say.
Go ahead.
First, could you go back to the first topic that Brother Willie had suggested? Because I forget what it was. We jumped around a few times.
Hours and hours ago. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, that was the brother. Matter of fact, let me read it. The brother said, hold on 1 second for me, if you would. Let me find it. Is going to school beneficial for believing women who plan on being housewives?
Okay. So it's going to school beneficial for women who plan on being housewives. Okay, so my thoughts on that, and I guess to touch on what Brother Austin was saying is for me it is important what women learn. So if I'm dating a woman and she tells me she's in school, and that's something that I'm interested in because I'm interested in to know what she's learning, whether it's a skill that she'll use in a particular field. If she doesn't go to work in that field, the knowledge that she obtained is important, I believe, when you bring it back to the household. Me in particular, I have a lot of skills in little small schools I've been to. When I came out of high school, my junior year in high school, I went to a military camp my senior year, and the military was in my veins at that point. I eventually joined the Army a few years later, but when I left out of that school, I went to Job Corps in South Georgia. I don't know if y'all familiar with Job Corps, but it's right, it's a trade school.
So brother Josh went to Job Corps too, right? and he's
Yeah.
did you went in Arkansas, correct?
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what I learned in Job Corps is business technology. So they taught us Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And coming out of there, that's not something that I used right away. Like I said, I joined the military where I went to 2 different schools. I did food service program and I did a military policing program. And which I finished my military career as a policeman, but I did learn the food service skill. Um, coming out of the military, I intended on becoming a fireman. And speaking to the firemen when I was overseas, they advised me to go to EMT school, as it would be a little bit easier to get hired on with the fire department. So that's what I did when I came home. I went to EMT school. When I got in EMT school, I was advised to go to paramedic school. So I went to paramedic school. I applied for a fire department in Fairfax County, Virginia. I went up there, did all the tests, came back home, got a job working as a paramedic. Never went to Virginia. I worked as a paramedic for about 6 years. After that, I actually enrolled in school to study public health. So that was the direction that I was going towards. And just being in the field for a while, I decided that wasn't the direction that I wanted to go, and I ended up changing my major to kinesiology. I studied exercise, and I ended up quitting my ambulance job and starting a personal training career. And I say that even to this day, I use those Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint skills to help me run my business, 10 years down the road, even though I didn't use those skills. So a lot of things that you learn in school, you can use in the household. My studies in paramedics, learning anatomy and physiology, helped me breeze through exercise school. It really wasn't hard for me at all because a lot of the knowledge that they taught, I had learned the fundamentals and the basics. So a lot of things that you learn in school, having an entrepreneurial mindset, if you're talking about having a woman in the home, whatever she learns in school, it's a lot of things that she could use in school to help build the house. Some of the skills you learn in healthcare will teach a woman, how to care for children and treat small injuries, and things about nutrition or how to stay healthy and things like that. I look at things that's important. Even learning how to cook. I went to a 16-week cooking program. I didn't go to culinary school, but I went to a 16-week program where I learned a lot of different French techniques and a lot of Italian techniques. So that's another thing that I look for. That helped me really learn how to meal prep, and I was able to start a small meal prep service when I was trying. I don't do it anymore because I don't need to, but that helped me extend my business. Even if I wanted to do that again, I could. That's an option for me because I have that skill. So that was just important for me. So I used to date a woman who had 3 kids, and one day, and these were teenage boys, and one day I told her I was gonna come over and cook for her, and I got there about 8 p.m. and she had all her pots and pans was sitting in bleach, and I didn't know what that was all about, but the reason why she did that because she hadn't used those pots and pans in so long, like she felt that she needed to do that for sanitary reasons, and that made me think about this woman. Like, what have you been feeding your kids like all these years?
Oh,
So and
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But that told me something, about her character. It and this woman, she was actually a school teacher. She taught junior high, and so her having that in her repertoire, I'm looking at her as if okay, she's good with children. And but seeing that, it showed me how negligent she was to her children, because that's, for me, yeah, as a trainer, nutrition is like super important, you know, and just making that notice of that content, it showed me how mindful you are, you know, when you going on a pescatarian diet, or you trying to be vegan, or you making, you know, nutrition and health conscious decisions for yourself, but you completely neglecting your children and just feeding them whatever you pick up on the way home. And
Chicken nuggets.
yeah, it's important for me to know what a woman is learning in school, because it shows me what she can bring to the table. It also will give her an awareness about what's going on in the school, what's being taught, what's being learned. So it gives us awareness about what's going on in our surroundings as far as a society, you know. So, but yeah, that's my take on the whole situation.
Okay. Go ahead, brother Anthony.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to talk about that a little bit. First thing I was thinking about, just listening to brother Tim, was that my wife works, and one of the things that I was saying to her when I met her was I didn't just want another pretty face, so I wanted her to have a career. You know, maybe it was because I really didn't want her to work with me that much. I don't know, but I know I wanted her to have something that she liked to do. You know, so she would have something, you know, for her. You know what I mean? But the other thing was, I always never thought anything as far as like having a woman help me out with paying bills. I always thought, you know, that's something that I'm responsible for. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want a woman to work or have a job just because I needed help. You know, so. But I do think that it's good, like Brother Tim was saying, to have somebody who has learned or specialized in, you know, certain skills, things like that. I mean, it's definitely helpful, especially if, as a man, if we get hurt or something like that. You know, she has that to fall back on, you know, to carry the family through that type of, you know, tough time, I guess.
Yeah. And let me we're gonna wrap this thing up real quick, because my wife cooked and I gotta eat now. But
no smoothie tonight, bro.
Huh?
No
You say
smoothie tonight?
No. I'm gonna eat, man. I had that earlier. I've been cutting back. But no, yeah, it's a man's prerogative as far as how he wants to set up his household, for sure. But you know, one thing is that I don't, you know, I see if you're going to be a housewife, you're going down that path. That's some of the most important work. It's some of the most it's not rewarded as it should be, and it's some of the most important work that is done. It doesn't have the prestige that it actually should, because quite frankly, we don't value, and I say we, I'm talking about collectively, we don't value a woman's work in a home when it's extremely important, and it sets the children on a trajectory. It sets the man, it helps him do what he needs to do. So that's very valuable work. But I want to say this: whatever, even if you want that, and I know that just from experience, you have to set the environment for that to even take place as a man. So before you get to talking about what a woman, as far as not working or if you go to college, you have to make it to where she can feel comfortable with that, and that's on our end, and that takes a whole lot of work and sacrifice.
My work.
I went through that right there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I went through that. My I guess it was 2009 or something. But anyway, we talked about it. And, you know, we decided, you know, that we would have a baby, and she wanted to stay at home if she was going to have a baby, you know, and you know, I was okay with that. And really kind of thinking about it, a lot of times I was real happy. You know, even though sometimes it would be very stressful, you know, just being an entrepreneur, you know, but somehow, you know, we always seem to make it, you know, and my wife she did an excellent job, man, excellent job. I mean, and like you said, women don't get a lot of credit for that. I played a lot of golf, you know, I wasn't really at home a lot, you know, so you know, I got, you know, I got beat over the head a little bit about that, but she, you know, really just listening to you, she had a good point about it. But you know, that was just me being a man. You know, hey, you know, you pay the cost to be the boss. I guess, you know, I don't know if that's where it was coming from or not. But I used to always think I was saving money when I went to play golf versus just riding around, you know, trying to find some other little holes to buy cars and, you know, waste of time. So.
All right, brother Elbert, were you about to say something, brother?
No, I was just going to agree with you. My wife worked when she felt like it. You know, after she worked, then the kids came, she quit working. Seemed like forever. And then she got sick of being at home and went back to work. So, and now she picking and choosing when she wants to work, which is fine. But like you said, the man has to set the foundation for that.
Yeah. You know, because I that's my preference as far as my wife not working, you know, because with kids and everything. But let me say this, you know, whatever your situation is, even if she does work, I wouldn't suggest you build your household on that.
On her money, right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that, but that's just, again, that's my personal opinion. But again, as a man, you had a prerogative to do what you want in your household. So this is not, you know, not like you have sin. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like just looking at things, you know. Right. Anybody else had anything before we shut it down?
Yeah, I was gonna say that if any of the women that's listening do decide to go to school, just make sure you don't use your or lose your wife skills, because you know, you go to school and then not develop as a.
You gotta acquire them first. You can't lose something you ain't never had.
Yeah, develop.
Or yeah, because it's not, school's really not developing that.
No.
That's developed in a different way. That's developed actually from seeing that. And the many haven't seen that because that's something that's lost. So, but yeah, you can't, you know, you can't just say I want to be a housewife and not know what that means. Because we're gonna be honest, that's a 24-hour job.
Yeah, that's real work.
That's real work. Yeah, that's a 24-hour job. Men go work 12 hours. You know, kids crying at night. You know, that or somebody's sick. That's a different. Yeah.
You know, I just want to say, my wife stay at home. I remember I told her, I said, what you trying to do? You trying to be the man and the wife too. And she said, you know what? You right. And she stopped working ever since been years now. You know, she's like, you know what? You right. I wasn't in the knowledge of the truth, but she said, you know what? You right. And she been, you know, but it's been the best thing. It's been the best thing ever. But you right, Elijah. It is. My wife said the same thing. She said, you go to work, you get to come home, everything laid out for you. You know, mine's gonna stop. When they sick, I gotta get up because you ain't getting up. I'm like, man, look. But you know, my wife's, you know, that's the thing, man. Like I said, I thank the Most High for her. I got, like I say, I got better. You know, I got better. You know, like I always tell, you know, I tell my son and some of the young people, you get with somebody and you can't, and they don't make you better. Like I say, you don't need them. But like I say, it is. You're right. Being like I said, she can't clean up yet now. Him and my son, I'm gonna have to get up out of here in a minute. But she finna clean up, do a little clean up thing. I'm in her way. So
I'm gonna let
like
you
I
get
said,
out the way then.
yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get out his room,
Gotta
man.
go eat these fish tacos. Now go ahead, bro.
Man, I had a smoothie today, man. Dang.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said I had, and I'm over here just living off a smoothie for the rest of the night.
Hey,
Come on,
well,
man.
have fun with that.
Fish tacos. Hey.
Hey man, I'm trying to think what hey man, yeah man, I'm about to eat. Brethren, love y'all. Peace.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
All right,
Peace, man.
Yeah,
all
too
right,
easy.
peace, y'all.
Everybody, peace, family.
All right,
Peace,
family.
brother.
All right, peace,
Yeah.
brothers.
enjoyed all y'all stories too.
All right.
Hey, cut back on that gluten, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have though, brother, actually.
Have you? Yeah.
Just in general, yeah.
I know you
Cut
cut
back on
back
a
on
lot of things.
everything.
Yeah, I cut back on a
Yeah.
lot of things. Yep.
Yeah, but gluten is really bad. You'd be surprised. You just have to do it, and you'd be surprised what's going to happen neurologically and physically to you.
Yeah,
You'd
well,
be surprised.
we'll see.